Yo, what's going on, everybody? This is Don't Talk Sports. My name is Dylan. In today's video, as you saw yesterday, we had round 1 of the NFL draft. I'm going to be doing my reaction to every single pick for round 1, pick 1 through pick 32, from Caleb Williams all the way to the end. And ultimately just kind of giving my opinion on each pick. Do I think it was a good pick, bad pick, kind of giving a grade on how I think the draft went, basically. Now, as always, this is my opinion on these draft picks, so if you don't like it, that's okay. These are my opinions. But without further ado, we're going to get straight into this. So if you're going to enjoy it, as always, make sure you're going to drop a like on this video. Be very much appreciated if you do so. But without further ado, let's get into it. Alright, as you can see here, we have all the picks here on the ESPN.com. First up, we got Caleb Williams. Very easy pick that was needed to be made by the Chicago Bears. I'm going to give it an A+, mainly for the fact that they needed to make this pick. If they did not take Caleb Williams, everybody would have roasted the shit out of them. Caleb Williams is now going to change their franchise. He's going to make everything much, much better for the Chicago Bears. He's a great passer, got great legs. He's got a few things he needs to work on. People have compared him to Patrick Mahomes. Some people compared him to Josh Allen. I think that you could possibly go for the Josh Allen comparison with the fact of how he runs around a lot, carries the ball a little bit loosely, has a big arm. So he does have some things to work on, but I think he will be a really good quarterback in the NFL for the Chicago Bears. So we got Jayden Daniels as well for Washington. He's going to be a big-time pickup for them. I'm going to be honest, and I'm going to say a hot take. Could he be the next RG3? Hopefully injuries stay away from him like RG3 did not get the luck for. But Jayden Daniels, he's a great athlete. He can run around. He can throw the ball. Everybody said he's probably the best quarterback in this draft whenever it comes to just reading a defense and processing the way the defense is showing their coverages. The big thing for the Commanders is every single year they're always looking for a quarterback. Hopefully Jayden Daniels can be the quarterback for the future. We got Drake May. The Patriots decided to give up on Mac Jones. Now they're going forward Drake May. Drake May, people had the mock drafts for him to possibly go to the Vikings. That did not happen, obviously. But Drake May with the Patriots, we'll see how that works. I don't think it's going to be a good thing, but that's just my opinion. Oh, and I forgot, draft grade for Jay Daniels, I give it an A. And then whenever it comes to Drake May, I'm not going to lie, I give it like an A-. We got the Arizona Cardinals taking Marvin Harrison Jr. Great pickup. Get yourself a receiver. Kyler Murray needed a receiving weapon. He's lost a couple of guys. He lost Hollywood Brown to the Chiefs. They need some receivers. Marvin Harrison Jr. coming in there, be a big piece. He could be maybe like the next Larry Fitzgerald. We'll see how that goes. But I give this a solid A. Solid A. Look at the Chargers. I thought they were going to trade back. A lot of people had in their mock drafts that they were going to trade back. They decided to stay put. They took Joe Alt, the tackle from Notre Dame. Joe Alt was projected to go to the Titans by a lot of people in their mock drafts. But he did not. So now he's going to the Chargers. Jim Harbaugh, he's going to build the offensive lineup. That was the big thing he said coming in. He said he was going to build the offensive line. He likes a nasty team, offensive line, defensive line. That's his motto. And so far, he's off to the right steps. I give this a solid A. Pick 6, we got Malik Neighbors. I think this is a good pick. Some people said it was a bad pick because they should have went with quarterback. Daniel Jones, he's not the guy. I think this is a good pick. Give Daniel Jones a weapon. Give him somebody to throw the ball to. Don't just kick him to the curb yet. They went and did the right spot here, or did the right thing here at the spot. Get Malik Neighbors. Get a good receiver in there. Malik Neighbors, I think people have said he's probably going to be paying out to be better than Marvin Harrison Jr. We'll see how that goes. I'm not saying that yet, but I think he will be a good receiver. I give it an A- though. We get to Tennessee Titans. They took J.C. Latham. Good pickup here. They needed a tackle. Even though they didn't get Joe Alt, they still got a really nice pickup here, a really nice tackle here. I think it'll work out in the end. Get somebody in there to protect Will Levis's blind side, hopefully, whether he plays left tackle or right tackle. We'll see how that goes in the next couple of months. But I give it a solid A- as well. Now we have the first surprise of the draft. We have Michael Penix Jr. going to the Falcons. You know, the Falcons, the same team that just gave Kirk Cousins $180 million over 4 years, $100 million guaranteed. That Falcons team, I don't understand it. I kind of understand it. At the same time, I don't really know what to say about this pick. Like, if the Falcons didn't get a quarterback in the offseason, I would have been like, yes, great pickup. 8th overall pick. Getting Penix, this will be huge. He can step in. Hopefully, he can be your franchise guy. But the way things are going, people have said that he's probably going to be sitting at least for 2 to 3 years. And it's more or less the fact of that Kirk Cousins has guaranteed money for the next 2, possibly 3 years. So you can't really bench Kirk Cousins because then he's just going to be getting paid to sit there and do nothing. And if for some reason within a year or two, Kirk Cousins decided to start playing bad, or didn't decide to start playing bad, but ends up playing bad, and you guys decide to put Michael Penix Jr. out there and he plays out of this world and he's amazing, then what are you supposed to do? Say, hey, Kirk Cousins, we're going to let you go. Kirk Cousins is going to say, oh man, you're going to let me go? Okay, that's cool, but pay me the rest of my money. I think Michael Penix Jr. is going to be a good quarterback in the NFL. My thing is, I thought he could have been selected well down around the 20s, maybe even, some people said he possibly second round. I think he was going to be a first round pick for sure, probably like in the 20s, if that. But I mean, for the Falcons, this is a little bit of a reach. I'm going to give it a B-. I'm tempted to give it a C+. I'm going to give it a B- though. We got the Chicago Bears at pick number 9, getting Rome Odunze. I think this is a good pickup for them. They got Keenan Allen in the offseason, but he's only on a 1-year deal. They need to get a receiver there to kind of be with Caleb Williams throughout their careers together, hopefully. So Rome Odunze, I think this could be a solid pickup for them. I give it a B+, maybe A minus. More or less I think the fact that it's the third receiver on the board. You had Marvin Harrison Jr., Malik Neighbors, and now Rome Odunze. Fuck it, I'll give it a B plus. It's still a good grade. You gotta admit. And the only reason I say it is because I think the Bears needed to get an edge rusher, and they didn't take an edge rusher there. So that's kind of my opinion. Next up, we got JJ McCarthy going to the Minnesota Vikings. Good pick. It's just I think the Vikings, they traded up to a couple spots to get to this 10th overall pick. I think they could have just stayed where they were and still got him. They traded with the New York Jets. I think the Jets, obviously, they were not going to be taking quarterback, so they went ahead and traded up. But JJ McCarthy going to the Vikings, I think this would be a good spot for JJ. Vikings, something they like to do with Kirk Cousins the past couple years. They like to throw the ball a lot, but I think JJ McCarthy, he was more in the college realm of just handing the ball off, a lot of running the ball, short passes, letting his receivers go do the work. He's going to have Justin Jefferson to throw the ball to, so we'll see how that goes. I'm going to be honest, B plus. I'll give it a B. I'm going to give it a B for my grade, but it's still a good pickup for them. We'll get the Jets taking Olu Fashanu, the tackle out of Penn State. Huge pickup. The Jets needed a tackle. There was some speculation if they would have taken Brock Bowers right there. People said on the draft board, people were saying, oh my God, could they possibly take Brock Bowers, get Aaron Rodgers another weapon? I thought they were going to do it. They did not. They took it off the tackle. They're going to protect Aaron Rodgers, especially after he tore his Achilles last year. So they're going to go ahead or rupture the Achilles last year. They're going to go protect him, get a tackle in there, and move on from there. I'm going to give this pick an A minus. That's my pick. We get the Denver Broncos at pick 12, taking Bo Nix. I'm not going to lie. This is a C plus for me. Coming into the draft, or at least coming into the draft season, I guess you could say, before even mock draft 1.0s were being released, this Bo Nix, and even some guys like JJ McCarthy, Michael Penix Jr., these guys were day 2, 100% guys. Like late round 2, even round 3 guys. But the fact that we're sitting here with pick number 12, and Bo Nix was off the board to the Denver Broncos, I was shocked. Now, is he going to be paying out to be a good quarterback? We'll see. People have compared him to possibly being the next Drew Brees with Sean Payton. I don't know about that. Sean Payton sees something in him. He needed a quarterback, and maybe he thinks he can transform Bo Nix. Maybe he sees the fact that he started a lot of seasons in college, 4 seasons. He started a bunch of years at Auburn and Oregon, so he's going to have a lot of experience. He knows kind of how an offense works, I guess you could say. And if Sean Payton can transform Bo Nix into maybe another Drew Brees, that would be awesome, and we'll see how that works out, though. But like I said, C plus is my grade on it. Next up, we got the Raiders taking Brock Bowers. Huge pickup for them. Got a weapon. Darren Waller left, I think, a year or 2 ago to go to the New York Giants. Now they got another solid tight end in there. Brock Bowers, he's going to be huge down there in Vegas. I think he's going to be a huge pickup for them. I'm going to give it an A. And especially for the spot they got him in, he could have very easily been selected way up in the top 5. The fact that he was selected way down at 13, that shocks me. We got pick 14. We got Talicia Fuaga, I think is how you say the name, from Oregon State, tackle. The Saints very easily said they needed a tackle very badly, and this guy fell right into the laps. Huge pickup for them. I'm going to give it an A minus, though. We got the Colts taking Latu. Huge pickup for them. They needed some edge guys. They needed some defense on their team, and they went and got a defensive guy. Quick little side note, this was the first defensive player off the board in the draft. Pick 15. This was a crazy draft. Like pick 15, we had our first defensive player off the board. It shocked the hell out of everybody. But like I said, Colts needed defense. Latu, he's gonna be a huge edge rusher. He'll be big time for up there. He's gonna be going after guys now like CJ Stroud and Trevor Lawrence and a bunch of other guys. He's going to have to go after and sack these quarterbacks. We'll see how he works out up there. I give it a solid B plus though. Next up, we got the Seahawks taking Byron Murphy. I'm not gonna lie, I projected Byron Murphy to go a little bit later down, possibly to like the Rams or maybe the Steelers or even the Eagles or Lions maybe. For him to go to the Seahawks, that one kind of shocked me, but I do understand why. McDonald's, the new head coach of the Seahawks, former defensive coordinator of the Ravens, he likes defense. He likes defensive linemen especially, and he wanted to get a big defensive lineman in there, Byron Murphy, so we'll see how that works out. I'm going to give this grade actually like a B+. I realized I gave it a 91. It's not like an A-, but I'm going to give it a B+. We get the Vikings trading from pick 23, I believe, up to pick 17. They went ahead and got Dallas Turner. I thought he was going to go to the Falcons. Obviously, they took Michael Penix Jr., but we got Dallas Turner now going to the Vikings. They lost Daniel Hunter in the offseason. Now they got Dallas Turner coming in there. Hopefully he'll be able to fill that void. I'm going to give this like a B, solid B average. We get the Bengals taking Amarius Mims. I thought Amarius Mims was going to go to the Steelers. He did not. Bengals got a nice tackle in there. Somebody to go in there and protect Joe Burrow's blind side. Whether he plays tackle or guard, somebody just in there to help out Joe Burrow. I think it'll be a solid pickup for them. I'm going to give this a B as well. We get the Rams taking Gerard Verse. This was a huge pickup for them. Aaron Donald not retiring. They needed to get a defensive lineman in there, Gerard Verse. I'm not saying he's going to replace Aaron Donald, but I'm just saying it'll be somebody in there to kind of try and fill the void at least. I'm going to give this like a B+. We'll get the Steelers taking Troy Futanu, I think is how you say the name, tackle out of Washington. He's going to the Steelers. Huge pickup for them. I think it's going to be something to see, kind of watch and see how it goes over the next couple weeks, how he does like a rookie minicamp, and then as we get into like OTAs, actual training camp, whether he plays guard, tackle, center, whatever they move him around to, we'll see kind of how he goes. But I think he's going to be a great player for them. The past couple years, Steelers have been drafting a lot of offensive linemen. I think their big goal is just get the offensive line fixed, and so far they're getting close to it. But I think, with Furtado, I'm gonna give it like a B plus. I'll give it a B plus. I'll be nice there. We get the Dolphins taking Chop Robinson. This was a huge pickup. I did not expect this one to happen. I'm gonna give this like an A. I'm gonna give it a solid A because I didn't think he was gonna be on the board this long. I realized in my mock drafts I had him be projected like down around like the high 20s. But with him, the way the board was kind of going and the way we saw some edge guys coming off the board and a lot of tackles coming off the board, I thought this guy would have been drafted a little bit higher up, maybe like with the Dallas Turner and like the Gerard Verse. I thought Chop Robinson easily could have been picked up way up here, maybe like by the Rams. I thought the Rams would possibly go after him. But the Dolphins got themselves a speedy edge guy, somebody who can just wreak havoc all over the defensive line and over all of our offensive lines. So we'll see how he works out with the Dolphins. We got the Eagles taking Keon Mitchell. Now this one kind of surprised me more, the fact that there were some other corners on the board that I thought they would go after, especially with the fact that they need speed, length, and all this sorts of stuff. Keon Mitchell is going to be a good corner for them, I think. It's just the fact that I thought there was other corners on the board that they could have went after that probably would have filled them better. I'm going to give it a B plus though. We got Brian Thomas Jr., a trade that happened with the Jacksonville Jaguars. Jacksonville Jaguars got Brian Thomas Jr. They need a receiver. Trevor Lawrence has now a new weapon to throw the ball to. Hopefully, this will work out. Calvin Ridley, as we know, Jaguars lost Calvin Ridley in free agency. Right now, they got Gabe Davis on the roster, as well as Christian Kirk. Now they're going to end Zay Jones. They're also going to have Brian Thomas Jr. We'll see how that receiver core goes. Maybe Trevor Lawrence will enjoy Brian Thomas Jr. being on the roster. I'm going to give this like a solid B plus as well. Terrion Arnold, the Lions trading up to get this corner. I thought this was a huge pickup for them. They just hit a slam dunk, home run out of the park with this pick. Usually the Lions take players that we just don't expect them to take. This time they actually took a really good player, the player that we all thought they could take, and they hit a home run. Big thing for the Lions last year, especially in the postseason, they needed secondary help badly, and they went ahead and solidified that with Terrion Arnold here in the draft in the first round. I'm going to give this like a solid A. We got the Green Bay Packers taking Jordan Morgan. Based off the way the Packers fan that was on TV was kind of looking when they took Jordan Morgan, I'm not gonna lie, C plus. Now, could this guy pan out to be a very good tackle? Possibly. Are they planning on this guy replacing David Bakhtiari? I hope not. If he goes on to replace David Bakhtiari, good job. It's just in the heat of the moment. You look at the other players that were taken afterwards. The Packers could have went after any of them. Usually the Packers don't take offensive players. Usually they take only defensive players in the draft. And there was a lot of defensive players that left that Packers fans probably wanted them to take. One of them is still on the board. Cooper DeJean was not taken in the first round. I was highly shocked by that. The Packers were mocked to take him, and they didn't take him. But they get an offensive tackle. Maybe it'll work out. I'm not sure. But like I said, C+. We get the Buccaneers taking Graham Barton, the center out of Duke. They said he's a center, but they also said he played tackle the last 4 years at Duke. So I don't really know what he's going to play whenever he gets in the NFL. Probably like guard. They might kick him in the guard. Maybe he'll play center. We'll see how that works out. But for the Buccaneers, they needed something big. I believe they needed some help in the interior of their offensive line. So probably I'll give this like a B+. It was a solid pickup for them. They needed it, so they went after it. We get the Arizona Cardinals taking Darius Robinson. Darius Robinson is a stud. He's a dog. This guy's going to make plays in the NFL. I'm going to give it a B+ though. He's going to make plays though. That's the big thing everybody needs to understand. He's going to make big time plays in the NFL, and there's going to be nobody that's going to stop him. I'm going to make a bet now. He's going to get at least 5 sacks this upcoming season, 5 to 6 sacks in his rookie season. He's going to wreak havoc. Can somebody explain to me how the Buffalo Bills just trade to their arch rival their pick at 28 and let the Chiefs come up here and take Xavier Worthy, the fastest goddamn motherfucking man on the planet? Like, how the hell do you suffer playing the Chiefs all those years against Tyreek Hill? Then Tyreek Hill finally leaves, and now you just let the Chiefs go get another Tyreek Hill. I don't need to explain to you guys about Xavier Worthy, how good this motherfucker is. This guy's going to be a freak of nature. And with Andy Reid calling plays, Patrick Mahomes throwing the ball, oh my God, what are we doing? It's like just when you would think the Chiefs are losing help at the receiver position, they add back on in tenfolds. I don't give a fuck what this grace is. I'm giving it an A+. Like, how the fuck do you let that happen? Next up, we get the Dallas Cowboys. They got Tyler Guyton. I realized the pick. They needed offensive line. They traded back, plus they then were able to get an offensive lineman. So they kind of, in a way, did what they needed to do. Hopefully, he'll be able to work out. For the fact that the Cowboys are losing some offensive linemen here in the offseason, they needed to get out a really good offensive lineman in this draft, and they did so with Tyler Guyton. I'm going to give it a B+ though. We got the Ravens taking Nate Wiggins. Like, how the fuck do the Ravens just get these perfect picks all the time? Somebody explain this to me. Nate Wiggins has been said that he's a very small corner. It's going to struggle to fight against some guys in the NFL. I saw some clips of him fighting against some big dudes in college, and he did not struggle. My question is, if the Ravens, I haven't kept track with the Ravens roster recently, don't they have Marcus Peters and Marlon Humphrey? Kind of what's going on there? Are they losing one of those guys? Is Nate Wiggins supposed to be filling in the void for one of those guys? Either way, I'm going to give this an A, very easy A. Moving on, we got Ricky Pearsall to the 49ers. This one kind of shocked me with the fact of how many receivers were still on the board and with the fact that the guy that went afterwards, we'll talk about that in a second. I think Ricky Pearsall could be a good, like, underrated receiver, like a wide receiver 3. It's just the fact of that you have Deebo Samuel and then Brandon Ayuk. Both Brandon Ayuk already is requesting a trade. Deebo Samuel, people said he might request a trade. We don't know it's going to happen just yet. I think Ricky Pearsall could be a good-ish receiver. Not a great one, though. And with the receivers that were still on the board that you could have went after instead of Ricky Pearsall, this one kind of shocked me. I'm going to give it a B-, though. And then we got pick 32. As you noticed, the Buffalo Bills, the ones that traded back to 32, they don't have pick 32 anymore. They traded out of the first round completely to pick 33 with the Carolina Panthers. And the Carolina Panthers took Xavier Legette. Gives a weapon to Bryce Young. Good pick up there. My question now is, for the Buffalo Bills, what the fuck are you doing? You came into this draft needing a receiver. You have like no receivers on your draft or on your team. You traded away Stephon Diggs. You let Gabe Davis walk. Cole Beasley retired a long time ago. The guys you have in your roster are, I'm not gonna lie, not good. And what do? You trade away pick 28. You could have had Xavier Worthy on your fucking team. Then you go back to 32. And what do? You trade it away again, and you let the Panthers go up there and take Xavier Legette. These two are gonna be stud fucking receivers, and you just let them both go. Like, if I were you, I would have told the Panthers, fuck off. I'm taking this receiver. This is my guy. Either way, getting back to the Panthers, good pickup for them. They need a receiver. They need to get Bryce Young a weapon. Xavier Legette, I think he's going to be a solid, big body kind of guy in the NFL. I'm going to give this a solid A. I'm going to give it an A- for the fact that they were able to trade up and fleece the Bills, fleece the NFL, and get a pick, even though they lost their first round pick whenever they traded for the whole Bryce Young thing. But like I said, looking at the entire draft board, this was a funky ass draft. But ultimately, to kind of wrap it up, here's my final points about the whole draft. Like I said, it was a funky ass draft. A lot of crazy things happened. Buffalo Bills doing some stupid things. The Falcons doing some stupid things. The quarterback drama all over the place. 6 quarterbacks. I think that just tied the record for most quarterbacks drafted in an NFL draft in the first round. We had the most offensive players taken in a row to start a draft. I think in NFL history, believe is what happened. Now, the big question is going forward, are we going to have some chaos in round 2 and round 3? That remains to be seen. But ultimately, I'm going to wrap it up there. Hopefully, you guys did go on to enjoy today's video. If you did enjoy, as always, make sure you're going to drop a like on today's video. Be very much appreciated if you do so. As always, if you wanted to watch the entirety of today's video, thank you very much. And like I said, if you have an opinion on any of these draft picks, if you're a fan of any of these teams and you want to leave your opinion on how every one of these teams we did, if you're a Bills fan, what's your opinion on you guys not taking a receiver? If you're a Bears fan, Falcons fan, Broncos fan, or any of these fans, or a fan of any of the teams that took a quarterback, what's your opinion on the quarterback? How do you like them? How do you like any of the players that were taken in any of the selection spots? Like I said, leave your complete opinion of the entire first round down in the comment section down below. We're more than welcome to talk about with you guys. If you're a fan of the content that I do post here and you want to go and hit that big red subscribe button, feel free to do so. And do not forget to hit that little notification bell. Be notified second I post. But without further ado, this has been Dalton Talk Sports. Have a great day. Peace.